Take this $20 million and stay away from my daughter. Thanks, Aunt, you are way too generous. From now on, we are strangers. See you never, you absolute parasite. You actually had the nerve. I could not believe she actually texted me, demanding to know where I went. My phone would not stop buzzing, giving me a migraine. Focus, this move does not count, old man. No taking it back, knight to square one, checkmate huh? You kid, let me take that back. Take back what? I then texted her back. Go thank that aunt again. I wish your family a blissful life. After clinching that final chess game, I truly believed my peaceful retirement had begun. But I completely forgot that in this tiny village, vicious rumors travel way faster than a 5G signal. The moment my luxury mansion was built, I transformed from a despised gold digger into a walking, breathing pile of cash. I barely stepped through the door before the first wave of greed struck. Soon, every relative sniffed out my money. Oh, my dear boy, look at you striking it rich. This mansion you built looks just like a royal palace. Listen, your cousin is getting married soon, and he is just a tiny bit short on the down payment. Your second aunt does not need much, just a tiny scrap from your fortune. Borrowing $1 million should be easy, right? Second, aunt, it is not that I will not lend it, but this money carries a terrible omen. What? How can money be cursed? This is the garbage compensation I got for being dumped. It carries a heavy breakup curse. It is incredibly unlucky. If my cousin uses this cash to buy a house, his marriage will probably go up in flames, too. I just could not live with that kind of guilt. When dealing with relatives who try to guilt trip you, you must fight fire with fire. Sure enough, once she heard it would ruin her precious son's wedding, second aunt's face turned a sickly shade of green. She stormed off, cursing under her breath. I thought that was the end of the drama, but I clearly underestimated her sheer combat power. If borrowing money is out because you are single, it is simply because you have not started your own family yet. Your aunt brought you a treasure. This is Xiao Mei from the neighboring village. She is a big local influencer with 20,000 followers. She says she does not mind that you are a rejected loser. Honestly, you are just a pathetic simp and your looks are pretty average. But second aunt says you have $20 million, so fine. I want $10 million as a bride price, and the house deed in my name. Also, throw those ugly logs in your yard away. They will ruin the vibe of my videos. Good grief, she did not find me a wife, she found me a tyrant. Just as I was about to kick these two weirdos out, I spotted a sneaky head peeking over my wall. Zhou Xiang, a college classmate of both mine and Su Wanqing. He was her #1 spy planted by my side. How did this guy track me down here? And he was even filming me secretly. Since the spy was already in position, I decided to put on a spectacular show for him. Oh, you are truly radiant today. Look at that incredible energy, and what a dazzling, brilliant smile. Come, since it is our first meeting, please take this fresh cucumber grown in my own garden. It is completely natural and organic, amazing for your skin. Take it, you pathetic simp. I cannot believe you took my money, gave up on life, and ended up chasing some plastic surgery face. When did your taste downgrade this badly? Drive to Wolong village right now. Just as I predicted, an hour later, CEO Su stormed onto the scene. You really are a piece of work, taking the 20 million my mother gave you, hiding in a dump, and going on blind dates with some industrial-grade plastic face. Have you no shame? I am doing alright. At least I am happy now. Happy? Without that 20 million, could you have ever built this mansion? Face it, you are just a coward who got bought off. Hey, young lady, you cannot say things like that. Our boy did not steal anything. Your mother practically forced that money onto him. What is wrong with you, giving money and then chasing him down to hurl insults? Where is the logic in that? Su Wanqing was completely blindsided by Grandma's sharp-tongued verbal assault. She was used to corporate backstabbing, but she had never faced a hardcore village elder like this. For a moment, she was speechless. Watching her stunned, humiliated expression, I felt a surge of secret satisfaction. She never imagined that this seemingly kind old lady had more combat power than her company's board of directors. I did not come here to argue. Just come back with me. Keep that $20 million, and I will act like none of this happened. Do you honestly believe that every single problem can be fixed by telling me to come back? Look around, this is my home and my family. But all you have ever given me, besides endless arguments, is your family's pathetic sense of superiority. What else is there? Do not pretend this is about the money. I did not leave for the cash. I left because I had enough of your mother treating me like a stray dog, enough of your freezing indifference, and I am completely done with your control issues. Following my explosive outburst, Su Wanqing's face turned pale instantly, as if she had been struck by a violent, invisible slap. She never could have dreamed in a million years that I would actually have the guts to yell at her like that. Fuming with rage and embarrassment, she stormed off to her car to flee. Fine, you loser, you have really done it now. I cannot stand being in this dump for another second. They say when people are enraged, their IQ drops to zero. CEO Su clearly forgot that Wolong village was a massive construction zone, not her personal F1 racetrack. At the moment, she tried to make her cool exit, disaster struck. With a sickening metallic crunch, that low-profile supercar got its chassis deadlocked right on top of a massive boulder in the middle of the road. The rear wheels spun wildly, kicking up thick plumes of white smoke. Witnessing this absolute train wreck, I could not hold it in anymore and burst into loud laughter. Oh boy. CEO, Sue, it seems the local gods just cannot bear to see you leave, ha ha ha. Seeing that her precious supercar was completely stuck, Su Wanqing had no choice but to follow me back, totally dejected. The longest road she had ever walked in her life was probably this muddy path. Hang in there, CEO Su. We are almost there. The road is a bit rugged, but hey, it is all natural, right? Shut your mouth. One more word and I am docking that 20 million. The tow truck would not reach us until tomorrow. Unless she wanted to be a mosquito buffet in her car, she had to follow me back to the house she despised. But I never expected that once we entered my yard a heavyweight bodyguard would be waiting. Just as she stepped into the courtyard, a white shadow suddenly lunged out from the bamboo. Help, get your giant bird under control. Ouch, it is biting me, CEO Su. That is not a bird, it is a goose. As the goose was about to peck her again, I quickly blew a few sharp whistles. The goose immediately stopped, tucked its wings, and waddled away with its head held high. Su Wanqing was so terrified her legs turned to jelly, and she slumped against the wall, gasping for air. To calm her nerves, I whipped up a bowl of plain noodles. I expected disgust, but she stuffed her face instead. She devoured them. Not only did she polish off every single noodle, she even drank the broth dry. Where did you buy these? Buy them? There is no delivery out here in the sticks. I made them myself. Now that you are full, CEO Su, go sleep in the guest room. Walking past my studio, she caught a glimpse of the blueprints on my desk. She was instantly captivated by those blueprints. This framework, this level of precision, did you actually draw these yourself? If you want to scale up, I am willing to invest 50 million? Is that enough? 50 million, you're still exactly the same, thinking everything has a price tag and can be bought. That's not what I meant, I'm talking about your raw talent. Before, you called my work trash, but now that you see a profit, it's suddenly talent? I'm not interested, and I'm not selling. Get some sleep. Tomorrow, as soon as that tow truck arrives, get lost. And about last night, if you ever change your mind, find me anytime. No need, CEO Su. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. The moment that door slammed shut, I thought I caught the faint sound of soft sobbing. That was the very first time Su Wanqing ever cried. But I didn't open that door, because the pathetic simp who would have comforted her died the second I laid hands on that 20 million. After finally getting rid of that headache known as Su Wanqing, I only had 2 days of peace and quiet before the village chief dragged in a brand new problem. Hey, get over here quick, this is the elite returner the county specifically invited, the legendary designer, Manager John. He's here to oversee the renovation of our ancestral hall. No, Chief, I've told you 1,000 times, we need to pursue an international style aesthetic. This ancestral hall concept is way too old school. My blueprint features neoclassical Roman columns and a full marble texture. Now, that is what I call grand. As for all this rotting wood, it is just too low class. It is honestly an embarrassment to your village's image. Just watch and learn how to build a temple on Marshland. Wulong Village sits entirely on a layer of soft soil. If you drop those 3-ton solid stone pillars onto it, the foundation will suffer uneven sinking within 3 months. When that happens, do you want your ancestors in a leaning tower, or are you planning to use your aesthetics to patch up half-meter wide cracks in the walls? You are just a lowly village carpenter. What do you even know about stress analysis? This is what we call art, understand? Your pile of rotting wood, how could it ever compete with the durability of marble? Rotting wood? I casually picked up a few timber pieces, interlocking them with seamless precision to form an incredibly stable and aesthetically stunning dugong structure. This is called mortise and tenon. The more pressure applied, the tighter it locks. It can withstand a magnitude 8 earthquake, compared to your Roman columns that could collapse at any second. This is the peak artistry of our ancestors. Got it, Master Tony? Manager Zheng's jaw dropped in sheer shock, his face a mask of total disbelief. Just then, a sleek Maybach pulled up to my gate, and a big boss stepped out looking sharp in a suit. Zheng rushed forward with a sycophantic grin to suck up, only to be shoved aside ruthlessly. Mr. Tian, I finally tracked you down. I am Chen Jingming, project director of Yuan Shan Group. Our group is currently right here in this county, developing a high-end cultural tourism resort project. We want to craft the most authentic Chinese style imaginable. We sincerely invite you to come out of retirement to serve as the resort's chief designer. The annual salary starts at 20 million, with design fees calculated separately. Mr. Chen, could you have the wrong person? He is just a common carpenter. A carpenter? Open your damn eyes and look closely. This is the man who achieved godhood in the international world of ancient architecture, the legendary Mr. Woodpecker, whose thesis sent shockwaves through the industry. Forget your pathetic columns. Even if your entire design institute combined forces, they wouldn't be worthy of being his assistants. Mr. Chen, I can take on this project. But I have 3 non-negotiable conditions. Name them, we would agree even if there were 10. First, the construction crew must prioritize hiring my fellow villagers, I will train them personally. Second, as long as raw materials meet standards, they must be sourced locally from this county. Third, once the project turns a profit, a rural development fund must be established to pave roads and build schools for the village. Mr. Tian, you aren't just a world-class designer, you are a man of truly grand vision and character. Yuan Shan Group agrees to every single condition. Honestly, I really intended to keep a low profile forever. But since I can actually do something meaningful for the village, this legendary woodpecker identity is officially coming back online. Woodpecker, it was actually you? So those scraps of wood I tossed into the storage room, and all those blueprints I treated with such disdain, just what on earth have I thrown away? Su Wan King is definitely drowning in regret right now, but she has no clue that the real bombshell is still yet to come. I thought that after my cover was blown, it would just mean adding the title of chief designer, letting me keep slacking off in the village. But suddenly, a financial news alert flashed on my phone. Su Group hit by aggressive short-selling attack. Stock prices have flash crashed by 15%, wiping out tens of billions in market value. Before I could even process the chaos, Zhou Zhang's call came screaming through. Hello? Old Zhou. What? What the hell happened to Su Wan King's company? This time, it is truly over. Some mysterious powerhouse is targeting the Su Group, striking with terrifying speed and absolute ruthlessness. Every move is a lethal blow to the jugular. It's not just the stock market collapse anymore, the media is relentlessly leaking toxic dirt on them. Wan King has barricaded herself inside her office for 2 days and nights straight. She won't see anyone. I'm terrified she might do something desperate. Su Wan King, doing something desperate? I highly doubt that. That woman is like a cactus. She can survive even in the harshest desert. However, if the Su Group actually goes bankrupt, will my $20 million check turn into a useless piece of paper? Hell no. For the sake of my retirement fund, I'm forced to intervene in this mess. Enough, quit your whining, just keep Su Wan King and her mother safe, and leave the rest of this disaster to me. Everyone knows my identity as the master architect Woodpecker, but nobody knows I am also a world-class hacker code named Shadow. I plan to keep my hands clean forever, but if someone dares to mess with my former benefactor, they're messing with my retirement money and that simply won't stand. I traced the malicious data stream attacking the Su Group, hunting them down link by digital link. The opponent was cunning, using 18 different proxy servers to hide their trail. But in my eyes, their high-tech defenses were nothing more than a simple puzzle. Dismantling them was merely a matter of time. Found him, it's Li Jingwei, Su Wan King's bitter old business rival. Years ago, for leaking trade secrets, Su Wan King personally sent him behind bars. Looks like he just got paroled and came back for blood. Not only is he shorting her company, but he even hired thugs to kidnap Madame Su. This play is beyond filthy. I compiled every shred of Li Jingwei's criminal evidence, including the kidnapping plot and the money trail, then zipped it all to Zhou Zhang. I also blind copied a copy to the Investigation Bureau for good measure. As for me, I'll fade back into the shadows, keeping my deeds and my name a secret. This is the peak level of class a proper ex-boyfriend should have. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, this is pure sorcery. The intel you provided was incredibly clutch. The Bureau raided Li Jingwei's hideout last night and arrested all 5 of them in one fell swoop. So, she's saved. Su Group stock hit the limit up the moment markets opened today. Brother, where on earth did you dig up such top-secret intel? Are you some kind of secret agent or something? Drop it. The crisis is averted, and that's all that matters. Just don't mention a word to Su Wan King. Too late, she already guessed it. She said that in a moment like this, the only person with the power to save her was the enigmatic Shadow, and nobody else. And of all the people she knows, you are by far the most mysterious. My guy, she is crying even harder than she did last time. So, Su Wan King actually cried? I used to dream about seeing her shed a single tear for me. Now that she's actually weeping, I don't feel even a flicker of emotion. In fact, since I helped her recover billions in market value, should I hit her up for a massive service fee? Nah, a man shouldn't be too greedy. That 20 million is more than enough to live on. Only a few days had passed since that hacker storm subsided when an entirely unexpected guest showed up at my door. I'm so sorry. Madame Su's voice trembled. That is the sole reason I've come here today. I realize now that I was wrong. I always deluded myself into thinking that everything I did was for Wan King's own good. I was terrified of her getting hurt and afraid she'd choose the wrong partner, so I used my own twisted methods to interfere. I even pulled strings behind the scenes to sabotage your studio project all those years ago. I only wanted you to stay in your place as a quiet accessory. Hearing those cold, hard words, my hand holding the teacup froze for a split second. Even though I had suspected the truth long ago, Actually hearing her confess that she deliberately crushed my dreams back then still felt like a sharp needle to my heart. But it was just a passing flicker. The person I am today no longer needs her validation. She sighed. This kidnapping finally woke me up. I never imagined my selfishness would nearly cost my life and scar you both so deeply. Here is the deed to a luxury villa, along with a 20% stake in the Sue Group. I know this cannot truly make up for what I did, but please accept it as my small attempt at atonement. If an apology solved everything, we wouldn't need laws. The damage is done. No matter how much money you throw at it, the scar remains. However, I actually want to thank you. Thank me? If you hadn't used those $20 million to humiliate me back then and forced me to walk away, I never would have returned here. I wouldn't have reclaimed my identity as Woodpecker, and I certainly wouldn't be living this comfortable life. Consider that original payment, the price for buying out 3 years of my youth. We are officially even. Take these assets back, I don't want them. The person you truly owe an apology to is me. It is your own daughter. Watching Madame Sue walk away clutching those documents, her once proud spine seemed broken and hunched. I didn't feel like a victor. Instead, it felt like a massive weight had been lifted off my chest. Clinging to hatred is too exhausting. Settling the score is liberating. But I never expected that after sending off the elder, the younger one would be the true trouble. Just as I was clearing the tea set from the courtyard, an unfamiliar number flashed on my screen. Hello, who is this? It's me. Even without her name saved, that voice was etched into the very marrow of my bones. It was Sue Won King. What is it? My mother went to see you, didn't she? Yeah, she just left. She told me everything about back then. I'm sorry, and thank you for saving the Sue Group. I was just doing my job. Consider it a $20 million service fee, no thanks needed. I've resigned. Resigned? Wasn't that company your entire life? The company is finally on track. I've handed my shares to professional managers. I think it's time to live differently. I've liquidated all the assets under my name and started a foundation called Woodpecker, dedicated to supporting traditional artisans. I don't know if this can make up for things even a little bit. So, what are you thinking? Why are you telling me all this? Where are you? I'm standing right outside your front gate. Can I come in? I stood in the courtyard, hearing the wind howl through the phone. Hearing her say she was right outside, my heart actually betrayed me and skipped a beat. The arrogant, untouchable female CEO had vanished, replaced by a version of Sue Won King I didn't recognize. Whether to open the door was a $20 million question. Ultimately, I chose to face my own heart. But when it swung open, the woman there wasn't the CEO who wore lipstick even while she slept. Instead, it was a girl in cheap canvas sneakers and a bare, natural face, like the girl next door. Honestly, in the 3 years I'd known her, this outfit was something I'd only seen on her first day of college. What's the deal, CEO Sue? Is this an undercover inspection? Or did you go broke and come to seek refuge with poor relatives? I came to visit Grandma. That excuse was so pathetic even the stray dog at the village entrance wouldn't buy it. But staring down at her heels, chafed and red from those cheap shoes, the venomous retort on my tongue vanished. Come in. But I'm warning you, there's no red wine or steak here. Only pickles and plain porridge. Oh, my dear girl, why have you grown so thin? No matter how busy work gets, you must eat. Here, have an orange. They're from our tree, very sweet. As Sue Won King cradled it, her eyes instantly welled up with tears. She was used to the cold calculations of the business world, but it had been an eternity since she felt such pure unadulterated care. Thank you, Grandma. This orange is really sweet. Watching Sue Won King melt under Grandma's genuine warmth, shifting from stiff awkwardness to letting her guard down and even laughing at the TV, I suddenly felt like this massive, empty house was finally starting to feel complete. Back in my high-rise office, even from the top floor, I never saw a moon as big and bright as this. I finally understand why you wanted to return. Lately, I only get 5 hours of sleep, but I feel more at peace than when I slept for 10. Well, now you don't have to stress over stock prices or stay on guard against rivals. Your biggest headache is probably just that goose that loves to chase you around the courtyard, right? Can we ever go back to how we were? If you're willing, I could stay and help you manage the studio. I'd even be happy farming in the village. Can we please just start over? We can't go back. I know I made too many mistakes. It's natural if you can't forgive me. It's not about forgiveness. The man I used to be, the one who revolved entirely around you, with no sense of self and plagued by insecurity, the pathetic simp died, the exact moment your mother slapped that $20 million check against my face. The person standing here now refuses to depend on anyone else. I won't ever change myself just to please someone again. So, I have no use for our past. However, we could try getting to know each other from scratch. Hello, my name is Godian. I'm just a humble countryside carpenter. Hello, Godian. My name is Sue Won King. I'm currently unemployed. Please take good care of me. Since we reintroduced ourselves, 3 months have already flown by. Su Wan King, the so-called unemployed wanderer, has basically moved into my house and refuses to leave. She claims to be jobless, but in reality, she is even more of a workaholic than I am. After launching her Woodpecker Foundation, she dragged me into the deep end with her. Now, I'm the honorary director Tian, while she has become Secretary Su, my overqualified subordinate. Director Chen, that batch of timber must be local HL. Those are Director Tian's strict instructions. Yes, if the budget is tight, I'll cover the deficit personally. Exactly. Now, Director Tian, wake up, you need to attend the village ribbon-cutting ceremony this afternoon, and you have to deliver a speech. I've already drafted your script, so start memorizing. Secretary Su, watch your tone. I am technically your boss right now. Since when do bosses memorize scripts? Just read it yourself. What shocked me most was Su Wan King's adaptability. 3 months ago, she was being hunted by a savage goose. Now, she has successfully tamed the village bully, and became the favorite of everyone in Wulong village. Grandma dotes on her even more than she dotes on me. Even the village dogs wag their tails when they see her. Sometimes I truly wonder which of us actually grew up here. That was a total mess. Also, quick, help this old man see where my knight should move. If you jump here, you'll block Guardian's bishop perfectly. Hey, a true gentleman doesn't talk during a match. You're conspiring with the enemy. Ha ha ha, I'm docking your pay, go ahead. After all, I'm just a jobless wanderer. Those with nothing to lose fear no one. Besides, isn't your money basically my money? That $20 million check is still tucked in your pocket, isn't it? Honestly, that check is practically worn out from my fidgeting. I'm actually a high net worth individual now as the chairwoman of a foundation. How about I just return this money to your mother? Return it? No way, that was your loser compensation, the emotional distress fee you earned through hard work. You're keeping it. As is what? As my betrothal gift, or maybe a lifetime salary for this jobless girl. Because you're stuck taking care of me for life. Deal? Deal. Fine by me. $20 million is enough for us to live on plain noodles in this village for lifetimes. But it's settled, you're doing the dishes, keep dreaming, rock paper scissors champ, haha. I used to think that true happiness was just taking the cash and rotting at home. But now, I realize that doing nothing with someone else is so much better. The cold, untouchable CEO, Su, is gone for good. But in my world, I've gained a mischievous, playful King Su instead. This is officially the best deal of my life.